trying to figure out some things.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out some technical difficulties.
Before we start.
I just want to say hello to everybody out there. My name's Layla Hameen. I'm actually live in my quarantine base right now, which is my room. Hope you all are having a decent Tuesday evening. I'm going to be doing some monologues and some poems. So just a little bit of information about me. I'm from Dayton, Ohio originally. I was born and raised there for the first 7 years of my life. And then when I was about 8 years old, I moved to Maryland, spent some time there, then moved to Cincinnati at age 13, so I've been there. I've been here in Cincinnati ever since. So this evening I will be sharing some monologues and also some poetry as well. I have a poetry book that's entitled Dreams and Realities. It was published by Very, Very Small Press. So special thank you to Stephanie from Very, Very Small Press for printing this out for me.
Hey, Stephanie.
Yay! And I also have a special guest. I have Tiger Voice on the keys for me, so he's going to be adding some music as well. So I just would like to start off with a poem, and it is entitled A Trip to the Moon. There are many things that I believe are possible, but I just can't get close enough to grab them. Forgiveness of parental neglect, envy of other siblings, releasing the feeling of not being pretty enough, skinny enough, American enough, black enough, Muslim enough, smart enough, sane enough, logical enough, angry enough, loud enough, enough. And breathe. The gravity beyond the moon shall correct my asthma. My mother will gain the confidence to drive again. Another sister out there will leave an abusive relationship, and me, the courage to just keep writing. A trip to the moon where we can go to a place that's not like our own, simply appreciate it and not try to make it like our own. Letting shy kids remain shy, it's okay. Understanding those kids who can't quite get enough free hugs, delaying judgment on those who choose to take drugs. It's so close that I can see it. It's really bright and I can see it. It's so close that I can see it, but it's just so far I just can't quite touch it. The fact that there are some men out there who think that I should cover my brain and cover my mouth and not be able to speak up for myself is crazy. They really want me to drive in their country, really want to keep me alive in their country, but here I am in my country speaking freely, but am I really? It's so close that I can see it. It's really bright and I can see it. So close that I can see it, but it's just so far I just can't quite touch it. Maybe someday I'll show up to an audition. And I'll show up and they'll have me do something cool like a yoga sun salutation. But instead they may just look at my skin and request I put my neck into rotation. I'm more than that. It's so close that I can see it. It's really bright and I can see it. It's so close that I can see it. I can see it. Can you see it? I can too. But it's just so far, I just can't quite touch it. Maybe it's not my time to go to the moon just yet. Maybe my feet are planted right here on this earth for a reason. It's not my time to go to the moon just yet. It's so close that I can see it. It's really bright and I can see it. So close that I can see it. I can see it. But it's just so far, I just can't quite touch it. Yet. A trip to the moon. Alright, so that was my first time doing that poem actually live on stream. So this is actually
and
with a piano. So thank you for tuning in once again. If you're just tuning in, my name is Layla Hameen. Thank you so much, Grr+Weapon and Cincy Music, for having me host this evening. So that poem was entitled A Trip to the Moon. And basically that was inspired by a project that I was asked to be a part of during a night of Chase Public. They had a night where you had to write something based on the movie A Trip to the Moon. And I wrote about what my ideal expectations were if I were to reach the moon. I want to see my mother be able to drive again. I want people to leave abusive relationships. I want kids to not be ashamed to ask for hugs, things like that. Or if they don't want a hug, it's okay if they don't want that too. So that's just something I'm really passionate about. I'm a kid advocate for sure. Alright, so my next thing that I will be sharing is a monologue. It is entitled Science Fiction. I might need some water. It's entitled Science Fiction. I have a one-woman show titled Laid Off. It's autobiographical. Thank you very much. Autobiographical based on true events from my life. And such it is Ramadan. For all my Muslims out there, Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak and Ramadan Kareem. Happy fasting to everybody. I am not fasting today, however, happy fasting to you. I grew up in Dayton, Ohio, and it was in the suburbs of Dayton, Ohio. I was one of the only brown Muslim kids in my whole entire school. So it was very interesting growing up and explaining to people why I didn't celebrate Christmas, why we didn't have any like Halloween stuff up, why we didn't do Easter, anything like that. So this is basically a monologue based on my life from age 7 when I was living in Dayton, Ohio. And I have a cat, and my cat is lovely and jumping on the bed right now. Okay. Alright, so the next piece is entitled Science Fiction. Get some water. Alright. No, I'm not getting anything for Christmas. We don't celebrate it. Easter? Hanukkah? Kwanzaa? Okay, I am brown, but we don't have any candles in our house. I'm Muslim. No, I didn't just make that up. It's a religion. But trust me, you're gonna hear a lot about us in the next few years. Just don't believe all the crazy stuff. Any other questions? Well, I got a story. You guys want to hear it? Alright, so here's what happened. I decided I was going to walk down to the bus stop by myself. My mom was asleep and she had no idea. Well, one day, I was at the dinner table and my father told me, Layla, stop talking like that. You sound like a white girl. Stop talking like that. So I decided the next day that I was going to leave without him. So I went down to the basement and into the garage, and I pushed the button, and the garage door went up, and it growled at me like a monster. And I felt this cool breeze hit my face. It almost knocked me over. Wait a minute. If I go out the garage door, how am I going to shut it if I'm outside? I guess I'll just have to go out the front door. Wait a minute. There is something really exciting about rolling under a garage door when it's about to shut. So I did it. I dropped, and I rolled, and I rolled, and I rolled, and the garage door, man, it slammed down behind me like boom. And I looked behind me, and I looked in front of me, and there I was, outside. I was free. I couldn't move. My book bag strap got stuck under the garage door. So I had no choice but to pull my book bag from under the garage and go back and ring the doorbell. My dad answered the door.
Layla, what are you doing outside?
I was looking at the rocks and flowers and things. He didn't believe me. So he put on his dashiki and he walked me down to the bus stop anyway. And that's how I ended up on the bus with you guys. True story. Oh, but wait. There's more. There's some science fiction stuff going on in our house. Well, just yesterday, my mom and dad were arguing. And I guess their phone got mad too. So it flew out of their room, through my door, and landed in my room. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I didn't know that phones could fly. You don't have phones flying through your house, do you? Well, then I guess it's just my house. It's like science fiction. Well, see, there's this big hole in the door. It's almost like another galaxy's in there. But my No, not basement. Basima. It means smile in Arabic. Now, I told you guys my middle name was Elizabeth because I thought you'd make fun of me. My name is not Layla Elizabeth Hameen. It's Layla Basima Hameen. Well, you didn't laugh. Well, that's cool. Since we're on the topic of Arabic, my name Layla means of the night. In Basima, it means smile. And Hameen, my mom told me it means friend. So all of you are my Hameens, and you make me Basima even when it's not Layla outside. I just hope y'all remember me. It seems like I just moved back, but we're moving to a place called Bowie, Maryland. That's 3rd grade, 3rd city, 3rd school. I guess 3's my lucky number. But hey, if you guys miss me, just pull out the brown crayon. Like what Miss Kuzak says I have to always use in art class. But if you really miss me too, pull out the purple one too. And please remember, if you meet any other Muslim kids like me, or human beings just like you, you never know, we could be your best friend. Alright, so that was a monologue entitled Science Fiction.
Nice.
It's autobiographical. When I was growing up in Dayton, Ohio, like I said, it wasn't the most diverse area. But I had a very diverse upbringing because I was in a predominantly, what you would call predominantly white school in elementary, but then I went to a masjid on Sundays, and it was all these different races and cultures and everything. So I had a very interesting mixed upbringing, and that factor, unfortunately, there was also some memories of domestic violence, which is something that I speak very openly about. Oftentimes it's something that people like to hide. People don't like to discuss domestic violence, but I feel it's something that's very important to discuss. It was something that my family did deal with, and it's something that I believe it needs to be discussed. There actually was a phone thrown through my room when I was a kid. But after all that, it taught me to understand that the strength within my own ability to overcome certain obstacles, which gets into something that I believe in, which is a halo effect, which is when you heal above a living obstacle. So with that, I just want to encourage anybody, if you were or are in any type of domestic violence, or if you need to talk to anybody about it, I'm always here. You can always inbox me. But yeah, it is something that I do touch on in the One Woman Show. I do mention memories of domestic violence, and it was something that I felt was very relevant and needed to be discussed. Okay, so the next piece I will be reading is from my poetry book. It's entitled Dreams and Realities. And this is entitled The Writing Addiction. The Writing Addiction. Wheels turning, ink flows in my veins. IV rehydration awakens the child, release the chains. Memories rush like waves, bitter vinegar and sweet oils splashing gently upon my tight coils. Storytelling is in my cells. A mixture of real stuff and science fiction. This affair with writing is a mighty addiction. To get over my affliction, I can't pay attention. Could care less about superiority and clout. I'm writing about stuff I really want to talk about. A one-woman show to tell all I know. Skin stretching, it hurts, it's time to really grow. Explosive emotions releasing years of aggression. A false smile, surely a sign of regression. A trip back in time I can't afford. I can't call it being bored. A feeling of loss. Fast forward to adulthood, I can barely address my bosses. I have a writing addiction. My fingers work more than my mouth. Journaling without a mental restriction. I can't make nail appointments. I'm afraid I'll need at least one of my hands to pleasure myself inside of the blank pages of my pages, soon to be filled with words. My gears are are stuck on reverse. The early years before I felt the urge to curse. A writing addiction, a release of pain. No dollar signs on my front window pane. Pure happiness and acceptance are all I will gain. Hungry but not really wanting to cook. Nerves a bit shook. It's probably time to write again. This time a storybook. No wonder the past has such a presence. Okay, so that was entitled Writing Addiction. The very next poem is entitled Outcast, and this is actually featured on another artist here in Cincinnati. His name is Kay Salvage. He has a song on one of his CDs, and he asked me to write a monologue based on the idea of being an outcast or being in the bottom of the totem pole, just any type of adversity. So what I did, I wrote a poem entitled Outcast. Open casting or open hunting season. The only brown crayon in a box of chalk. Add a dabble of Muslim, you got a 7-year-old diversity rep. By 23, I'm a melanated token plastered on a higher education brochure to prove yes, we are diverse. Outcast. Open casting for a program titled Life. A role of an observer when it seems like the world is on fire. Turn on the news, more auditions for outcasts. Selling loose cigarettes could cost you your life. Wearing a hijab on a train could cost you your life. Not having a license plate could cost you your life. Casting breakdown. Looking for nothing but an outcast. Right, so that was entitled Outcast. You can actually find that on Kay Savage's song. I believe it's called Make It. You can YouTube it, and it's actually a part of that. So that was my first time being featured on anybody's music, which was really a cool opportunity. So shout out to Kay Savage.
Nice. I forgot you showed that.
Alright, so the next poem is entitled Vivir. I live in a world where it's beer o'clock and the ex-husband's driving. I ain't never been married and I ain't writing a law. I live in a world of resentment. A glance at siblings reminds me of parental adultery. I'm unhealed. I live in a world where cancer sticks meet asthma. Heavy breathing but not causing an attack. Emotions running honestly through each stanza. I live in a world of confusion and insecurity. Guilty of being judged about my purity. I live in a world of free spaces and chase places and love faces. Going far enough but not needing suitcases. I can't afford one. I live in a world with support from Covington to Newport. And memories of my parents separating in court. I live in a world where situations are normal and I'm weird. I live in a world where situations are weird and I'm normal. Sickness and health, no wealth beyond my own words. Mental escapism to places so distant past parts aren't even current enough. I live in a world, but am I really living? And for who? I live in a world of childlike wonder and mushy mac and cheese. I live in a world of distant heart and forgotten emotions. I stay in a constant wave of transition. Creatively rich and low in funds, lacking nutrition. So that poem, actually I wrote that about 2 years ago, and it was actually about a past relationship that was very, very unhealthy. But then the happy parts of it is that I discuss mac and cheese, and there's a kid that I work with through the Lighthouse, and he loved making mac and cheese, and so every time he would be around me, my face, my life, everything just lit up. He was just a cool kid to be around, so we always make mac and cheese, and he would always say, Layla, live a little, why don't you live a little, buy the popcorn, get the larger bag of popcorn, buy mac and cheese when we go out. Like, he would try to lift me up. He was only 9 at the time. So that's why I entitled it Vivir, which means to live in Spanish. So yeah, that is older one. poem is entitled 4 a.m. I think I'll do this one without music and just have it just be without music on this one. Father, it's 4 a.m. and I can't sleep. I take it as a sign that I need to listen to my thoughts and tattoo my feelings into the blank pages, an attempt to fill the mass spaces between us. Early memories of you letting me watch Morton Mindy at Nick at Night. Everyone said I was your favorite, but I don't remember it. I remember the flying phones bursting through my bedroom door. I was silent when you told me not to talk like a white girl. At 32, sometimes people pay to see me perform and talk, and I'm still self-conscious to utter a word. We sang songs about Allah and you taught me Bismillah. There's a space, I'm a child of yours, 5th place to be exact. I feel like I'm further than that. I have memories of Maryland, but they are marred with movements of fear and police. Belt beatings that left holes in walls. I touched the dents when I was 9, they were deep. I got the least amount of abuse, but I'm the one standing on stages telling stories about it. I wonder how you felt the night you came home in a raged summer of 94. The inside of the car was wet, the windows left open on accident. Your anger was up to 103 degrees, but your heart was ice cold. Beating Mom, I was in the next room and I heard the screams. I heard the screams at 9. I heard them at 20 and 30 and 32. I'll probably always hear them. I just hope the echoes chime down a bit at some point. But forgiveness is key. They'll open doors for many more. It's 4 a.m. and I can't sleep. Okay, my poetry's actually really sad. I'm very sorry. No, I really did write this.
That was a strong one.
I wrote this at 4 a.m. And I was living at my mom's house at the time before I got my own place again, and I needed to write something. It's a very interesting relationship I have with my dad. I love him dearly, and I know everyone has their own quirks and whatnot, but we're not going to get into that. That's a whole other, a whole other story. Okay, the next poem that I wrote is about a little boy that I used to help teach at Roll Hill Elementary. His nickname was Zach, but I called him Super Zach because he was a superhero to me. When I worked at Roll Hill Elementary, I worked in the special ed unit for elementary students. They were ages 5 to 9, and it was a classroom full of 8 boys. The youngest one was 5, the oldest was 9, and I was the teacher's aide who was oftentimes left in charge to work with them by myself. But there was a lovely boy named Zach, and he had an interesting travel within his way to school. So this one is entitled Super Zach. Super Zach. I ride in the van for an hour, but I just can't quite get seconds. I go to the cafeteria for more food. I rode in that van for an hour, but I can't get seconds. I did my puzzle. I did it perfect this time. And I'll do it again tomorrow, but I still can't get seconds. I have so much energy. Lightning flying everywhere. They want to tighten the lid over my jar. I rode on that van for an hour, and I still can't get seconds. Isn't it funny how time works? So that's a pretty short poem. I wrote that based on his experience when I worked with him. Unfortunately, he had to face some homelessness, and he had to ride in a shelter van for an hour to get to school. By the time he got to school, he was tired. But, you know, you put some peanut butter crackers in front of his face, and he'd hear the plastic crinkle, and he'd wake up, get off the van, and be happy to be there, you know. But yeah, so that is entitled Super Zach, because I think he's always going to be a superhero. All right, what time are we looking at? I don't have a timepiece on me. Do you see the time? Do you have a clock? I hope everyone everyone's doing okay out there. Thanks for stopping in. If you could, if you were able to, I'm accepting tips. I have a Cash App. That's the $, and Layla Off, LAILAOFF. So Layla Off is my Cash App if you would like to put a tip. That's greatly appreciated, and if not, it is perfectly fine. I'm just happy to have an audience. What time is it?
8:25.
8:25. Okay. So I'll talk a little bit about my experience with Ramadan. Ramadan, this is the 5th day of Ramadan, which is the holy month of fasting and practicing being grateful, humility, charity, keeping up with prayers. And during the times that we're in right now, it's a very interesting experience for me because during Ramadan we don't eat from sun up to sundown. You're supposed to do it when you're healthy. I'm not fasting today because I needed to withhold some energy today. However, I was fasting the last 4 days, and something I've noticed is it really is a challenge. It is a challenge, but it teaches you to appreciate when you do eat. Because I know when the sun sets, I'm going to eat. I know there's at least a couple of things in my kitchen to eat. But there are people out there who are unable to eat, and they don't know when their next meal is going to be. So it teaches a whole bunch of humility, and it's a lot of self-discipline as well. So yeah, I've been able to just do a lot more focusing and a lot more writing and, trying to learn a little bit more Arabic and keeping up with prayers and everything. So for this moment, I just want anybody who's watching, I want you to take a moment and put your hand to your heart and breathe for yourself and give yourself a couple of seconds. Just treat yourself to your mindfulness. And just please think about those who are in a lot of pain, those who are suffering, those who are sick. I'd like to have moments of recognition for those children who have to be at home, and it may not be the best environment for them, and school was their escape. But they can't go back to the building anymore, so they have to be at home. Just take some moments and think about those people and lift them up. And if you don't pray, or if you just do positive thinking, if you could do that for them, that would be great. I just want to take a couple seconds for that, because I think that's really wonderful. So I have a company, if you want to call it, but I call it more of a movement. It's entitled Halo Arts, and Halo is an acronym for Healing Above Living Obstacles. It's a performing arts experience. It encourages people to use acting and storytelling as a form of self-healing above adversity, so HALO. So whether you use acting, singing, dancing, painting, cooking, rock collecting, if you are using that as a peaceful tool for yourself, hold on to it tight and embrace it. If it's helping you to rise above adversity, go for it. I personally use acting to do that. Growing up, I was a very shy kid, but when I discovered that I could create different characters and do different voices, it's something I fell in love with as a kid. And when I was able to muster enough courage to move beyond entertaining my mom and my sisters growing up and trying to entertain other people, it's something that actually helped me overcome a lot of depression, anxiety, and just become a better communicator. So Halo Arts is actually coming up with a new idea that's in the works. If anyone's interested, you can contact me. We're going to start a writing circle and also an acting circle as well. So we'll pick a theme each week, and then we'll write about it. If anybody's interested, you'll write about the theme, and then you share it on Zoom. So we're going to develop that soon. It's in the early stages, but if you're interested, feel free to hit me up. I'm on Facebook a lot. So feel free to inbox me or leave a comment, anything like that. We also have a new program that's entitled Storytime. It's on YouTube and Facebook. So basically, we pick a kid's book every week and we read it. So the last book I read was I've Loved You Since Forever by Huda Kolpi. And it's just really something really simple. Just to encourage reading with children and also just something peaceful because reading can help ease anxiety. Alright, so I have another poem that we're going to do here. Let's try music with this one. Okay, this one is called Dreams and Realities. And this is also from Dreams and Realities, the poetry book. Sweet opportunities in a world of wonder. Getting ahead depends on who you know. What if the chosen one doesn't meet the key holder? A bitter missed experience or an open seat to the route of a dream. My dreams are a reality. A temporary position at a permanent office. Forced to file away housing documents and face the fire of angry tenants. But you are temporary. Their problems are permanent, but they are not yours. A permanent dream with temporary roadblocks. Construction scheduled at the most inconvenient time. Tar-covered roads, traffic jam through thoughts, opinions and pending approval from other passengers. Focused on your speed limit and your mileage. Eyes shifting away from the road to look at your route. But which highway are you going to take? That is entitled Dreams and Realities. And let's see. What time are we looking at? I need to get a watch. 8:30. All right. This is entitled A Tribe Called Confident. A Tribe Called Confident. Strong roots coiled, straight in between. They all have in common knowing this crazy Hameen. Patience and maturity, rational. I admire the tribe of beauty that I see. Encourage my words to levitate. The tribe is diverse. Being myself around them, I never feel like a curse. Rise up, queen. Rise up high. Never give up. Try. Fix what's within. Address your solutions. Allow happiness into your soul. Release the burden that's heavy. I hear it charges a toll. Michaela, Yvonne, and many more, just to name a few. Always give me words to start anew. Erica's music plays beautiful harmonies of support. Britt had my back with subtle wit, and she kept me out of court. Dana kept me slipping, but she moved that banana. Tribe Called Confident, sending love to you 100%. This is 2-year-old poetry. I was really, wow, okay. But yeah, this is based off some of my friends. So,
2-year-old?
No, it was a 2-year-old poem. I wasn't 2 when I wrote this. It's a 2-year-old
Oh,
poem.
I see.
This
Like,
poem is
wow,
2 years old.
As a 2-year-old.
Oh, my piano player is lovely. Tiger voice, I love
Sorry.
you. It's okay.
I'm shutting up now.
A Tribe Called Confident. And it's really important to have a good group of people behind you. That's what it's about. poem. It's entitled Compare and Contrast. 4 a.m. wake-up time. I drove myself to the airport. Don't be the girl who gets lost. No shower, sleep, or money. Don't be the girl who pouts when her boyfriend can't say goodbye in person. He's a dad. Maybe you're so attached because you barely talk to yours. Don't be the girl who screams to be heard. Chances are, all they hear is noise. Try a whisper. Don't be the girl who drinks milk before boarding this plane. Don't be the girl who shares too much. Don't be the girl who cares too much. Don't be the girl who compares herself to a pregnant magazine cover of Serena Williams or Aisha Curry. Just eat your bagel. Don't be the girl who wiped the cream cheese from her cleavage. No one sees you. Or maybe they do. Even if it was an accident. Buckle up and take off to fly high. Off to the next destination. No wonder the past has such a presence. I actually wrote this when I was going to visit my nephew and sister in North Carolina, so this is about 2 years ago. It's been 2 years or so. So, that's pretty much all I have for this evening. I'm on YouTube, so what you can do, you can follow me on YouTube, Layla Hameen. My name's Laila, or you can look up Laid Off, a one-woman show. I have the full show also there online. You can also find me on Facebook and also Instagram. But I hope everybody enjoyed what I had to bring for you this evening. Thank you so much for joining me, literally in my room, my quarantine, my quarantine area. I have my cat here, and of course I have my tiger voice piano player here, and guitarist on some occasions. But yeah, I want to thank you all so much. Feel free to contact me, and once again, please remember that you're the expert of your own experience. And trust yourself. And love yourself. Thank you, and have a good evening. Alright, well, that concludes my thing, so we're gonna turn on.
We're done.
Have a good evening, everybody.